everyone, this is Kyle Randall Tanzik from Michigan Medieval. I have about 14 years of historical European martial arts experiences. That means buying tons of HEMA texts and reading them and probably spending way too much money on them. So my own personal biases have to do with English things. I like English stuff maybe more than other sources, so take that into a grain of salt as we go through this book review. So today we're going to be talking about Toxophilus, The School of Shooting by Roger Ascham. I think I'm saying Ascham correctly. I've heard a few different pronunciations. So the big question is this a HEMA text? And I guess that really depends on if you think that archery is a martial art or not. Because in every way, this is as much of an instructional martial art text as a lot of the other ones we work with in the HEMA community. So do you think archery is a martial art? You decide, but for me, it is. So overall look and clarity of this book. It has no illustrations, so you don't have to worry about any image clarity issues. The timeline section in the beginning is a little muddy, tiny print, but it's legible. Otherwise, pretty standard, legible book. Okay, very modern looking. You know, there's no way this is going to pass as like a reenactment prop or archery prop or whatever. Oh well, it's a textbook. It's an obscure textbook. What are you gonna ask for? Durability. Standard paperback book. Not crazy durable. Probably could just break it. Just standard trade paperback style book. Translation. So transcription, translation. This is made in Shakespeare's time. So that's like, early modern English. But this book clearly has been changed from that because an average person can read it and make heads or tails of it. You know, it's perfectly legible and fine. I wish there was a little more information in the beginning of the book talking about the way that they translated or transcribed it. But there's no really big, hints as to why this isn't like, lots of these and thous and things. But whatever, I don't care. I can read it perfectly fine. Practicality. Does it stay open? No. Do you really need it to? Not really. There's not a lot of illustrations or anything. Does it have a table of contents? Let me find it. Yes, it does, which is pretty good. It also, interestingly, has a glossary of old terms. Like, there's lots of archaic terms in here, and it has a glossary of them. So that's cool. Another thing it has is it has, at the beginning, this big timeline of, like, events and things, which is incredibly useful as a resource if you're trying to learn this, if you're really putting a lot of effort into studying this. It's nice to be able to carry this one book around that gives you lots of context and things. Rather than have a secondary history book or whatever with you. So, cost. $17 softcover, $23 hardcover. That's okay. Maybe a little expensive for like a trade paperback type paperback book, but it's an obscure textbook again, so, it's going to not be as cheap as like a off-the-counter, checkout line copy of The Hobbit or whatever. So, what do you get? 218 pages, 0 illustrations. The first half of the book is just philosophy. The second half of the book actually talks into more like archery things that you're probably going to be more interested in if you're looking at this as an archery text as a HEMA practitioner or whatever. So pretty much you get like, that many pages, not that many pages on archery more specifically. Closing thoughts. It'd be nice if it had some illustrations in there to kind of give you context for the type of equipment and things that they're constantly talking about or the people who use them. But this book is really cool. I mean, this book is cool because in particular, it coincides with the exact same time period as the Wreck of the Mary Rose. So the Wreck of the Mary Rose, the ship went down, and it had like about 100 highly skilled archers from Henry VIII's army, I believe. And those archers, we have their equipment and their skeletons and stuff, so we know all about them. This is the book that jives up perfectly with that time period. This guy he dedicated the book to Henry VIII. It was Henry VIII's archers who were on that ship. So we have the equipment. We have, because of this book, we have, how those archers trained and the kind of like tactics and things they use and their good advice and stuff. So that's awesome. The biggest thing I would warn you about is if you are a brand new practitioner to HEMA or a brand new reader of like Renaissance philosophy, Tudor philosophy or whatever, the front half of this book is incredibly hard to get through. You know what I mean? It's very much like an old philosophy text. The second half, you can see it here, the second book. That's the one that has all the archery bits in it. So that's where you should probably start with the second book first if you're just getting into this. Okay. Thanks for listening, everybody. Pick up a copy of this book if you're an archer or a LARP archer, or if you're a HEMA practitioner and you like archery. I'd recommend it. All right. Please like, comment, subscribe. Feel free to request anything or ask any questions in the comments below. Thanks again, everybody. Stay safe.